Have you ever wondered why some women never openly praise a man, yet quietly hold him in the highest regard? Because respect is rarely announced, it is revealed. And the most powerful signs are often the ones most men completely miss. The truth is, many men spend years chasing affection, attention, and validation, believing these are the ultimate signs of attraction. But attraction can be temporary. Respect is different. Respect is deeper. A woman may be attracted to a man's appearance, his charm, or even his success. But when she truly respects him, something changes. She listens differently. She treats him differently. She sees him differently. And here's the shocking part. Some women will never directly tell you how much they respect you, not because they don't, but because genuine respect often shows itself through subtle actions rather than words. The problem is that most men are looking for obvious signals and completely overlook the quiet signs happening right in front of them. So how can you tell if a woman secretly respects you? What behaviors reveal her true perception of you? And why is respect often far more valuable than attraction itself? Hello everyone, welcome to the Magnetic Masculinity channel. In today's video, we're going to uncover the 7 powerful signs that a woman secretly respects you. Signals that reveal far more about her feelings than compliments, attention, or even attraction ever could. Stay with me until the end because the final sign is the one most men never recognize. And it may completely change how you view relationships. Now let's get started. Sign number 1, she values your opinion, even when she doesn't fully agree. One of the clearest signs that a woman secretly respects you is surprisingly simple. She genuinely cares about what you think. Now, this doesn't mean she agrees with everything you say. In fact, a woman who respects you may challenge your ideas from time to time. But there is a huge difference between disagreement and dismissal. When respect is absent, people tend to ignore your perspective. They interrupt you. They brush aside your thoughts. They listen only long enough to respond. But when respect is present, something changes. She becomes curious about your viewpoint. Before making important decisions, she may ask for your thoughts. When discussing a problem, she wants to know how you see the situation. Even when she ultimately chooses a different path, she still values your perspective enough to consider it carefully. Why? Because respect is not blind agreement. Respect is recognizing that someone has wisdom, judgment, or insight worth listening to. And women rarely seek guidance from men they do not respect. A woman may be attracted to a man because of how he looks, but she listens to a man because she believes there is value in what he has to say. That is why this sign is so powerful. When she consistently seeks your opinion, remembers your advice, or refers back to conversations you've had, she is revealing something deeper than attraction. She is showing trust in your mind, and trust in a man's judgment is one of the strongest forms of respect a woman can offer. Sign number 2, she respects your boundaries instead of testing them. Constantly, many men believe respect is shown through compliments. Sometimes it is, but more often, respect reveals itself through behavior. One of the strongest examples is how a woman responds to your boundaries. A woman who does not respect a man often expects him to abandon his priorities for her convenience. She may push limits repeatedly. She may expect constant availability. She may become frustrated whenever he says no. But a woman who respects a man behaves differently. She understands that his time has value. She understands that he has responsibilities, goals, and commitments outside of the relationship. And most importantly, she doesn't punish him for having them. For example, if you tell her you're busy working on an important project, she doesn't immediately interpret it as rejection. If you need time to focus on your goals, she doesn't constantly demand proof of your attention. Instead, she recognizes that a man with purpose should have priorities. And she respects those priorities. This is something many men overlook. Because when a woman truly respects you, she doesn't just appreciate your strengths. She respects the boundaries that protect those strengths. She understands that your discipline, your mission, and your self-respect are part of who you are. And rather than trying to control them, she supports them. That is a subtle but powerful sign of genuine respect, Because respect is not about getting someone to do what you want. It is about recognizing and honoring who they are. And a woman who respects your boundaries is quietly telling you that she values the man behind them. Before we continue, I'd like to hear your opinion. Which is more important in a relationship, attraction or respect? Comment, attraction or respect below, and tell us why. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to Magnetic Masculinity for more insights on confidence, self-respect, and the psychology of attraction. Now let's continue, because the next sign is one that most men completely miss. Sign number 3. She respects you even when you're not around. One of the strongest signs of respect is something you'll rarely witness directly. It's what she says about you when you're not in the room. Anyone can be kind when you're standing in front of them. Anyone can compliment you when it's convenient. But true respect reveals itself behind your back. A woman who secretly respects you doesn't diminish you to gain approval from others. She doesn't mock your goals. She doesn't speak negatively about you to impress her friends. And she doesn't change her attitude toward you depending on who she's with. Instead, she remains consistent. She speaks about you with appreciation. She defends your character when people misunderstand you. She acknowledges your strengths even when you aren't there to hear it. Why? Because respect is not a performance. It's a reflection of how someone genuinely sees you. Many men spend too much time looking for compliments while completely overlooking consistency. But consistency tells the real story. If a woman treats you with the same level of regard whether you're present or absent, she is revealing something very important. She respects the man you are, not just the benefits of having you around. And that kind of respect is rare because it comes from admiration rather than convenience. Sign number 4. She trusts your decisions. During difficult moments, anyone can support a man when life is easy. The real test comes when life becomes uncertain, when challenges appear, when pressure rises, when difficult decisions need to be made. This is where respect often becomes visible. A woman who secretly respects you doesn't expect you to be perfect. She doesn't believe you'll always have the right answer, but she trusts your ability to think clearly under pressure. When a problem arises, she doesn't immediately assume you'll fail. She doesn't constantly second-guess every decision you make. Instead, she gives you room to lead, room to think, room to handle challenges in your own way. That trust is incredibly meaningful, because trust and respect are deeply connected. People naturally trust those they respect, and they often struggle to trust those they don't. Think about the men you admire most. Even when they make mistakes, you still believe in their judgment. Why? Because respect creates confidence. The same principle applies here. When a woman respects a man, she sees more than his current circumstances. She sees his character, his discipline, his ability to remain composed when things become difficult. And those qualities create trust. This doesn't mean she never questions you, or that she agrees with every decision. It simply means she believes you are capable of handling life's challenges without falling apart. And in today's world, that belief is one of the strongest compliments a man can receive. Because when a woman trusts your judgment during difficult times, she is quietly telling you something powerful. I believe in the man you are becoming. Sign number 5. She remembers the things you say. One of the most overlooked signs of respect is not how much a woman talks to you. It's how carefully she listens. Most people hear words. Very few truly pay attention. A woman who secretly respects you often remembers details that others forget. She remembers your goals, your opinions, your stories, even small things you mentioned weeks or months ago. At first, it may seem insignificant, but it isn't. Because people naturally remember what they consider important. Think about it. When someone values your thoughts, they don't simply wait for their turn to speak. They absorb what you're saying, they reflect on it, and they carry parts of those conversations with them long after they end. This is why respect often reveals itself through attention. A woman who respects you doesn't just hear your words. She considers them. She remembers them. And sometimes she even applies your advice in her own life. That is not merely attraction, that is admiration. Because admiration begins when someone believes there is something worth learning from you. And that is one of the clearest signs of genuine respect. Sign number 6, she celebrates your success instead of competing with it. One of the most revealing moments in any relationship is what happens when one person begins to grow. Success has a strange way of exposing people's true feelings. Some people become supportive, others become uncomfortable. A woman who secretly respects you is genuinely happy when you succeed. She doesn't minimize your achievements. She doesn't make your victories seem unimportant. And she doesn't become distant when your life begins moving forward. Instead, she encourages your growth. She wants to see you win. She takes pride in your accomplishments. Not because your success benefits her directly, but because she respects the effort it took to get there. This is incredibly important, because real respect recognizes discipline. It recognizes sacrifice. It recognizes the countless unseen hours that most people never notice. A woman who respects you understands that success rarely happens by accident. She sees the work behind the result, and rather than feeling threatened by your growth, she appreciates it. That kind of support is rare, because it comes from admiration rather than insecurity. And whenever someone sincerely celebrates your progress, they are revealing a level of respect that words alone can never fully express. Sign number 7, she treats you with respect. Even when she's upset, this may be the most important sign of all, because anyone can be respectful when things are going well. The real test comes when emotions are involved, when disappointment appears, when conflict happens, when expectations are not met. A woman who secretly respects you may disagree with you. She may become frustrated, she may even get angry, but she does not intentionally try to destroy your dignity. She does not constantly attack your character. She does not use your vulnerabilities as weapons, and she does not try to humiliate you simply because she is upset. Why? Because respect survives difficult moments. In fact, difficult moments often reveal whether respect was ever there to begin with. A woman who truly respects a man understands that conflict is temporary, but the damage caused by cruelty can last for years. That is why she remains mindful of how she communicates, even when emotions are running high. This doesn't mean she is perfect. It doesn't mean arguments never happen. It means she still sees your value even when she disagrees with you. And that is incredibly rare. Because when respect is genuine, it remains present even when emotions change. Attraction can rise and fall, feelings can come and go, but respect has a much deeper foundation. And if a woman continues to treat you with dignity during difficult moments, she is revealing something many men spend years searching for. She respects not only what you do, she respects who you are. And in the end, that may be the strongest sign of all. Conclusion. As we come to the end of this video, remember this. Attraction may capture attention, but respect reveals true value. Many men spend years looking for signs that a woman likes them, while overlooking something far more important, whether she genuinely respects them. The deeper lesson is this. Don't focus on earning a woman's respect. Focus on becoming a man worthy of respect. Build your discipline. Keep your word. Stand by your values. Protect your boundaries. And continue growing even when no one is watching. When you become that man, respect stops being something you chase. It becomes something you naturally inspire. If this video gave you a new perspective, leave a comment below and share which of the 7 signs stood out to you the most. And if you want more insights on masculine confidence, self-respect, relationships, and personal growth, make sure to subscribe to Magnetic Masculinity and turn on notifications. Your support helps this channel continue creating meaningful content for men who want to become stronger, wiser, and more respected in every area of life. Thank you for watching. And remember, the right woman won't just admire your strengths, she'll respect the man behind them. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end of the video. See you in the next videos.